The human body is like a microcosm, harboring a vast and boundless world within. Today, science can also use a single stem cell to develop into a complete organism, carrying all the genetic information of an adult body. The comparison of the human body to a microcosm is truly nothing too mystical. In Taoism, there is also the belief that the human body is a miniature universe. During the Tang dynasty, a Taoist practitioner entered the world within a mustard seed, traveling freely throughout it. Take a moment to pause, brew yourself a warm cup of tea, and find a cozy spot to sit. The program will take you into an incredibly captivating story right after this. The mysterious origins of the fire-writing elder. The story goes that during the Kaiyuan era of the Tang dynasty, there was a man named Zhang Tuo. As a teenager, I once traveled south to visit Ho Du in Trondheim and wandered around the outskirts of the city. At that moment, Trong Ta suddenly saw an old man riding a donkey with 4 legs as white as snow, carrying a bag made of antelope hide on its back. With a gentle and harmless demeanor, the old man from the foot of Zhongnan Mountain followed the small path and then stepped onto the main road. Zhang Ta was too curious, so he asked right away, "Where have you come from, sir?" The old man just smiled, saying nothing more. Trong Ta kept asking over and over, annoying the old man until he finally snapped and shouted, "I'm just an old man who..." No sooner had he spoken than he leapt onto his horse and galloped away, vanishing into the distance. Zhang Ta immediately leapt onto his horse and galloped off in pursuit. After a while, both of them stopped at a roadside inn and decided to rest there. Trong Ta felt weary from the long journey and wanted a sip of wine to ease his fatigue, so he invited the old man to share a cup with him. "Kindly join me in raising a cup, honored sir. This is my specialty. How could you understand my heart so well?" After finishing his drink, Trong Ta noticed the old man's radiant face and softly recited a line of poetry. "I, a foolish and ignorant junior, with but shallow knowledge, humbly beseech the venerable elders to impart a few words of wisdom to enlighten my limited understanding." Too timid to act, yet unwilling to accept their lot, the old man said, "All we see are just stories from the time of the Liang, the Tran, and then the Tang dynasties. Throughout history, the rise and fall of nations, peace followed by turmoil, have all been clearly recorded in the annals. But today, I will tell you tales not found in books. Things I have seen with my own eyes, things I have lived through." The old man recounted that during the time of Bak Chu, when he was still in the land of Qi, he practiced the craft of wind divination and was known by the name Tong. Because he admired Emperor Gao Huan of the northern Qi dynasty, who established a great legacy, he took the name Tong and styled himself Doi Tan Tuan. At the age of 18, he followed Tuang's son Kong to Qin Chao to suppress the rebellion of Luang Nguyen. After capturing Qin Chao and returning victorious, he and the main army stationed at Jianglang. One day, he had a strange dream. In the dream, 2 figures dressed in blue approached him and said, "Return, Nian Hong Chu." The old man then requested the officials' permission to return to his hometown, which was granted. "Now that I can return to my homeland, what must I do to live 100 years? The dream interpreter told the old man that in his past life, he was Tu Dong, the renowned ruler of the kingdom of Ad. Tit was a talented monarch, skilled in the mystical arts and the craft of medicine. He tirelessly collected strange books from all over. Every day, Tit diligently studied 100 pages of the classics by the Yellow Emperor and Laozi. After moving to the foot of Mount Hangmen, I built a 3-room thatched cottage. Around the house, I planted lush flowers, grasses, and green bamboo, forming a natural fence that enclosed the dwelling. On the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, the monarch sat alone drinking wine, then suddenly let out a maddened roar. "The Lord lives so frugally. Could it be that no extraordinary beings have sought me out?" Just then, the distant rumble of horse-drawn carriages suddenly echoed from both sides of his hands. Overcome with drowsiness, the little monarch immediately flopped down. As soon as his head touched the mat, a small cart suddenly appeared before his eyes, its wheels blazing red, its canopy of vivid green, pulled along by a fiery red calf. The small vehicle, about 2 to 3 inches tall, sped effortlessly from inside the ear to the outside without any hindrance. On the carriage were 2 young attendants wearing green hats and white robes trimmed with blue, their figures standing only about 2 or 3 handspans tall. They held onto the carriage rail, waiting for it to come to a complete stop before stepping down to speak with their master. "We came from afar, drawn by your cry beneath the moonlight, a sound both pure and fierce. Our hearts swell with reverence, and we humbly wish to share a few words with you. You all just stepped out of my ear. How can you claim to be from the hidden mystic kingdom? A human body is only 2 to 3 inches tall. How could one possibly embrace an entire nation in their hands? Even if one were to ascend to the moon, the people there would surely be as small as mere worms. Our land and your kingdom are no different at all. If you do not believe us, please come with us to see for yourself. Should you choose to remain there, you will surely be freed from the suffering of the cycle of birth and death." A young attendant tilted his ear for the monarch to see. Peering inside, the ruler beheld a private garden lush with flourishing plants, rows of tiled houses clustered together, winding streams, and towering cliffs veiled in mist. The monarch stepped into the land of the Hun people and soon arrived at a magnificent city. Before them stood formidable fortresses, grandiose palaces, and an indescribably majestic sight. Suddenly overwhelmed, the monarch hesitated, unsure of which direction to take. "My lord, may we ask you to compare this land with your own country? Which is larger and which is smaller? Since you're already here, why not join us in exploring the mysterious tomb of Tranba?" Tranba's dreamlike vision appeared in a magnificent palace, with golden walls and jade steps shimmering, while inside the room hung cool, azure porcelain drapes. Tranba sat majestically in the grand hall, draped in an exquisitely embroidered brocade robe adorned with intricate floral patterns and shimmering images of the moon and stars. Beside Tranba stood 4 jade attendants. One held a white horsetail whisk, while the other carried an Italian-style rhinoceros horn. Following the king into the grand hall, I clasped my hands in reverence, bowing my head without daring to look up. The monarch bowed his head in gratitude and stepped out the door, where 3 or 4 figures clad in gleaming yellow robes immediately arrived to guide him. "During your stay here, whatever you desire, no need to speak it aloud. The attendant by your side will instantly understand, and that very thing will appear before you at once." On a leisurely, idle day, the old man went upstairs to gaze at the distant scenery when suddenly the thought of returning to his hometown arose. So he picked up a pen to compose poetry and recite it aloud. A warm breeze blows gently, carrying the faint scent of flowers through the forest paths. Standing high and gazing into the distance, the scenery is beautiful indeed, yet still, nothing compares to home. And also give this poem to the 2 disciples to read. I thought you had attained peace and freedom, which is why I invited you to my country. Who would have thought you'd still cling to that idle gossip until now, refusing to let it go? Is the old hometown really worth remembering so much? No sooner had he spoken than he hastily shooed the sovereign away. Instantly, the ruler felt as if he had been flung from a great height and dashed to the ground. As soon as I looked up, I saw a teardrop fall from the corner of my eye, only to return to its place in an instant. When I turned to look back, those eyes could no longer see the head. When he asked the villagers about him, everyone said he had gone missing 7 or 8 years ago. Yet the monarch felt as if they had only been in the land of the little people for a few months. Not long after returning, the monarch passed away. Later, they were reborn into the Shen family, becoming Shen Zongde. The dream interpreter also said that in my past life, I was a spirit that emerged from an ear. Because in his past life, the king possessed profound virtue, he was reborn into the royal lineage. However, because the monarch still could not abandon worldly habits, they were unable to attain the realm of immortality. From now on, you may live for 1,000 years. I give you this talisman, then I must return. As soon as the words were spoken, a strip of bright red silk flew out of the dream interpreter's mouth, and he told the old man to swallow it. The dream interpreter immediately reverted to their original pupil form and then vanished. From then on, the old man no longer suffered any illness and freely roamed all the famous scenic wonders of the world. To this day, I have lived over 200 years, witnessing countless strange events, all recorded in this family chronicle. That night, after listening to the old man finish his story, Zhang drowsily drifted off to sleep. When he woke up the next morning, he suddenly realized the old man had vanished at some point. "On my behalf, ask Zhang Tuo quietly." Upon hearing this, Zhang hurriedly went to search, but the old man had already vanished without a trace. Forget the hologram technology featured in Euro 404. Are we living in a virtual world? Today's technology has proven that entire systems can be integrated into tiny components. Like us humans, surely within each person lies a profoundly mysterious microcosm. House of Foresight. Welcome back to today's familiar segment, The Prophet. Perhaps everyone understands the importance of the atmosphere or the layer of air surrounding the Earth. But perhaps we cannot yet fully grasp the terrifying consequences if those cosmic giants were to strip away this planet's protective layer. Your comment, Hang Nguyen, on the channel inspired Euro 404 to share some incredibly useful information with everyone. Here are the natural English translations for both contexts. Sand is merely the outer layer enveloping Saturn, just as it is on Earth. Life would cease to exist without an atmosphere. Dear Hang Nguyen and friends, the atmosphere is the layer of air surrounding the Earth, held in place by our planet's gravitational force. The atmosphere consists mainly of nitrogen, accounting for about 78%, oxygen at 21%, along with other gases such as carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and helium. Today, Earth's atmosphere is growing increasingly warmer, leading to many serious consequences. If the atmosphere disappeared, of course humans and other living creatures could not survive. The absence of an atmosphere means no oxygen remains, halting human and animal respiration and marking the extinction of all life on the planet. As the sun gradually disappears completely due to Earth's rising temperatures, our planet will be destroyed by meteorites. The atmosphere is a protective layer that burns up objects from space before they can reach Earth. Therefore, if Earth had no atmosphere, the planet's surface would be severely devastated by the violent impacts of meteorites. I hope that image will help raise everyone's awareness about protecting life on our beautiful planet. Thank you, Hang Nguyen, for your comment, and thanks to everyone for your support. Hello everyone, wishing you all a weekend full of joy and happiness.